Welcome back, everyone, here to Bronx Talks. The Yankees are going to have to make three roster decisions at some point soon, with three big players coming back off the injured list at some point. Those three guys being DJ LeMahieu, Garrett Cole, and Jason Dominguez. The closest one would be DJ LeMahieu, who looks like he's maybe now a couple weeks away, 3 weeks, depending on that injury with his toe. It looked like he was going to get activated next week, start next week against the Orioles. There has been some setbacks there, but there's still a question and conversation to be had about what's going to happen with DJ LeMahieu and where's he going to get playing time, because Oswaldo Cabrera has just played so well for the Yankees. You're not going to pull him out. You need to give him playing time because he's had a tremendous impact so far. So, Christian, what are your thoughts on DJ LeMahieu, and what should the Yankees do with him upon his arrival?
We'll see how it looks, when he comes back, which we really don't know. I mean, the setback was a little scary. Ideally, I think it's going to be like 2 to 3 weeks, but again, you never know with the injuries. If everything, I guess if Torres and Oswaldo were playing in 3 weeks, how they're playing right now, I think you just maybe keep Oswaldo at third base and then maybe ease DJ back into second by kind of splitting time with Torres. Uh, but I mean, it'll kind of feel hard to just completely take Oswaldo out of there from the lineup. And DJ 100% deserves a fair shot at regular playing time because end of last year, I mean, he looked great, right? So, I mean, if a healthy DJ is a different DJ. So, if we get him back healthy, I want to see what we have there. And I don't want to sacrifice Oswaldo Cabrera to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Yankees should have no rush getting DJ LeMahieu back on the field. Oswaldo Cabrera is playing so well. You're going to want a full, healthy, ready DJ at the thick of things at the end of the run in a pennant race. So the Yankees should take their time with DJ and get him back on the field when he's 100% to go. No rush there. And Christian, the rotation is certainly an interesting one. I believe the Yankees have the second lowest ERA in baseball. But that rotation is really solid. And I think you look at this rotation right now, who are you taking out of there? I really have no idea. I mean, you can maybe say maybe a guy like Luis Heel, but we just made a video on him and talked about how great and phenomenal he's been this season. I feel like everyone in the rotation, at the very least, deserves a spot on the roster. And I feel like when you bring back in Garrett Cole, I don't think a guy like Luis Heel should be sent down. Obviously, there's a little whiles away until Garrett Cole is back. I'm thinking, probably middle of June, maybe early June, until we see Garrett Cole this season. So there's some things that need to be worked out there, but it's certainly interesting because you sit here right right now, and you're like, I don't know. I really have no idea what the Yankees do there.
Yeah, and I mean, this is such a good problem to have because, look, if you had told me at the beginning of the season we'd have all five of our starters giving us great outings every time, I think me and Ryan wouldn't have believed you because, I mean, going into the season, Cole was our only really guy that we were 100% sure about, and then he got injured. But Nestor has completely bounced back from last year. Stroman's doing what we thought he was going to do, if anything better. Carlos Rodon looks like a completely different pitcher back to his 2022 self. Clark Schmidt, even he's making the stride, still not going too far in games. And then obviously Luis Heel has been the big one. We just did a video on him. That's really impressed us. I think it really comes down to Clark Schmidt and Luis Heel for who gets the bump out of the rotation. I know Luis Heel kind of feels like the easy option since he was just brought into the rotation to fill Cole's spot. But I'll be honest, Ryan, he's impressed me so much. I really don't want him to just get sent back to AAA or go to the bullpen. I I think if the rotation was still where it's at right now, I would either look at a six-man rotation or maybe you move Clark Schmidt to the bullpen. I mean, just and the only reason I really say that is because Clark just hasn't really been able to go deep in games. And yeah, would I like to see the Yankees continue to experiment and see if he can work past that? Yes. But if someone has to go, I think Clark then could turn into a great 3 inning guy in the bullpen.
Yeah, that would be very big for the Yankees. Obviously, lost Michael King in the Juan Soto trade. So, getting that long reliever back could be very beneficial for the Yankees, especially down the stretch, in the thick of the pennant race. And lastly is Jason Dominguez. I mean, this guy came on the scene last year when the Yankees had no hope. I mean, they were just going through the motions. The season was basically over. And boom, Jason Dominguez comes out of nowhere and just starts playing phenomenal, playing at a very elite level. And then some random Sunday, we find out he has a UCL injury, and boom, here we are now. I don't know exactly when Jason Dominguez's timetable will be. I think the Yankees will get him back some point in July. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do there because they've basically rolled out those three guys in the outfield every day. Alex Verdugo, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge. And then occasionally we'll see, a Stanton off day and Judge goes to DH spot. We see a guy like Trent Grisham come into the game. But I mean, all three of those outfielders play baseball at a very high level. Judge has obviously been struggling a little bit, maybe heating it up a little bit lately, but you're not benching Judge. Obviously, you're not taking playing time away from him. And Soto and Verdugo have been amazing. So how are you going to get Jason Dominguez in the lineup? And quite frankly, I have no idea. You're going to want to get him regular playing time, but I think it's just something the Yankees are going to have to figure out and maybe just do a rotating cast and, have Soto going to DH spot one day and Dominguez play the field or Verdugo as well. And, obviously Judge could DH and Dominguez could go in the outfield too. But it's going to be interesting. Dominguez definitely deserves a roster spot. But I also think some pressure is on Jason Dominguez for him to hit because, if he comes up there and really struggles, the Yankees aren't just going to hand him playing time for no reason. He's going to have to produce, and there's going to be some pressure put on the Yankees.
Yeah. And I think ultimately it just comes down to, assuming the Yankees get in the playoffs, you're just trying to find what's going to be your best playoff lineup. And I do think you need to give Dominguez at least a shot because I think there's a good chance he is a part of that best possible lineup. So, I wonder maybe they do something with Grisham. I know they only have him for a year. I think it's possible. I mean, maybe he gets moved at the deadline or something, just so you're less clogged up there in the outfield. Because, between if you already have four guys or four starters, and then you add on Dominguez, and you're also trying to get Grisham in there, that might just be too many people. So, there's moving parts. I really think a lot of the roster's decisions, though, are going to kind of work themselves out, though, in these next, weeks or months for whoever it is based on performance.